Okay, welcome back. So this is the Nikon ZFC. It's a APS-C DX style camera for Nikon. Um, had the 28 millimeter on there, and it's f2.8. So this is how I look on a smaller camera. Now I'm going to show off a little bit about the Nikon Z7II, and with the same lens, the 28 millimeter. So this has a crop of a 1.5, so it gives you kind of like a 42 millimeter, what you're seeing now. And I can bring it closer, just like that. So you see it, it's a good lens for a small camera. It looks good. Anyhow, I just want to show you this 20-minute video. I went car vlogging again, but with the new Lincoln Maritz KC. No, wait. Let me get this right. It's the MKZ. Z. They don't make them anymore. Lincoln's going to SUVs only, which I think is a shame because I like the four-door sedan that I'm driving around. I'm used to a smaller vehicle, but Mom got me this car, and unfortunately she passed away, but she bought some good stuff, and I was really impressed with this vehicle. But anyhow, enough of that. Let's go and watch this video, shall we? Okay, guess what? I am in a Lincoln MKZ, and I am shooting with the Nikon Z7II. Just trying to see how long this will last. Let me turn on the air conditioning. Got it on low. I'm at f2.8 with the 28 millimeter. I could put it on, let's see. I wonder if it's on automatic. Yeah, F4, F4, 5, 5, 6. You know what? I'm going to leave it at 2.8. Okay? It's 1/8,000th of a shutter speed, which is unheard of. ISO is at 160. So we'll leave it at that. I've been wanting to try the Z7II for video. And what I like about it is it's a tilty screen, not a flippy screen. So not many people will notice the camera. Hopefully, anyway. So I'm driving around. It's looking pretty good. I'm hoping anyway. I think I got on the settings different. I got it plugged in for my external battery pack. So that's good. And just take it out for a spin, see how it's doing. Went to visit some relatives. It was about a 500-mile trip, 250 each way just about, and fill up the car just once. So I was getting like 33 miles to the gallon. So we'll go back home to see how this is. I'm just going to drive up and down with this camera. I'm going to go through the deer park. I haven't been through there in about quite a few months. Did go with one of the rental vehicles I took. It was either the Fusion or the Versa. But as you can see, do have, it is kind of dusty, the LCD screen. So I don't want to mess with it because I might mess up the settings. And everything looks good. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to see how long it can record and if it overheats in this car. The reason why I put the 28mm on there, it's a small pancake lens. I am looking at the 26mm. I'm also looking at the 17 to 28 2.8, but see, this dash is not as big as the other vehicles I was driving in. So you have to use a small lens. The Sony A7C is right up this alley. This one right here with the Z7II, I want to try a 45 megapixel camera to see how that does. And it's a lot smaller than the Z9. So with the lower profile, see, look at that, hardly anybody's out. It must be a sports game or something. I don't see anybody on the streets. I mean, you see the traffic, but they're doing a lot of road construction in my area, so I think a lot of people are trying to avoid. I just hope I don't pick up a nail when I go to this park. So usually I make a right up here, and that's not blocked, so that's good. At least they're not messing with the businesses so far. A lot of businesses fail when they do road work, and then it takes them forever to fix. So I'm going to the deer park, or the neighborhood right next to where I live. Okay. So I haven't been here for a while. I mowed my grass in front, and I said, you know what, I'll do the back tomorrow. It'll only take me about half an hour. But you know, I have a privacy fence and no one's going to see it. So what I'm doing is I have no lens hood for this, okay? So you might get a little sun glare, and I used the wrong thing to do the windshield, so I had it kind of like those towels that you get from Walmart. But yeah, driving this car for 500 miles, it's a big fly swatter. And I had all different colors. I had red, yellow, black, spots. They're all off. The car looks good again. It's about a 6-year-old car. There's a lot of dings on it. But it's still good. The ride is wonderful. So you see that stop sign? That's where my neighborhood is. So what I'm looking for is some deer. And driving around, of course. I see new fences. Tomorrow I'm going to call Dish, and hopefully they'll send me a box so I can return the stuff. And that part will be done. Looks like their app is back online, but I don't know if they have a chance to disconnect. So I see, yep, that's a deer. I see a couple of deer, so I'll just go down this road. It's a dead end, but you can see a deer right there. And another one right there with a squirrel. And I'll just go in this driveway and back up. I don't want to spook them, but you can see the squirrel, the deer. And that's what you do, you get it in the shade. Those are the best pictures. So there's 2 deer right there. I'm trying to look for others. So I'll just go up and down the roads. They're in this wooded area right here, but it's 83 degrees outside, folks, here in Texas. So I think the best shots is when I'm going away from the sun. So you see that they're building new homes, and I'm worried about nails and stuff. These new vehicles, you don't get sometimes spare tires. You have to buy that extra. And I got a donut tire, but I'm thinking of getting another one with another rim. But I'm going to wait until my trip to Arizona for that. So I'm looking around, I don't see any deer. And I mean, the grass is green. They got a lot of food here. Neighbors feed them, but they could be sleeping in the shade. And I'm looking up and down the street. I don't see any of them. They're usually in between the homes, and if I can see them, I'll move the camera a little bit, but I think it's in the best position right now. But as you see, as I go toward the sun, it's not very good. You get a little sun glare, okay? And the towel that I used to wipe the windows smeared something. I think my mom had Rain-X or whatever on the windows, so I shouldn't have. But I had to get rid of all those bug splatters. It was unreal. Looking at the bluebonns. The other reason why I like, see, there's a deer right there, okay, by that car. Is with a 45 megapixel. Oh yeah, that's a nice deer. Yeah, he's eating something. You get some wonderful shots with this camera. So I can stop off and look at the blue bonnets that are, oh, it was just gorgeous. You can see the blue bonnets on the side. They're just blooming. These orange flowers, I think they're called Indian paintbrushes. It was just a wonderful drive. I took not the major highway, but an offshoot to 21. And you know, there's a lot of different, like I-95, 21, 7 East. I think there's another one in there, but took me through small towns, and it was just gorgeous, beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky. It was real cloudy this morning, probably from the Sahara sand that we get. So it's cloudy in the morning, so it's nice and cool. But in the afternoon, when everything burns off, guess what, folks? It's hot. Shoot, it was 91 the other day. Yeah, I see 3 deer right there, but they're all in the shade. So I'm not going across the hill. I think they're in the shade, trying to relax. There's a big water tower right here to the right of me. And a cemetery. I didn't know they had a cemetery here. Engelman Cemetery, established in 1866. Wow. See, I learn something new every day. Yeah, there's a nice pool there. Keep warming up to get a dip. I see a lot of homes being built. They've been working on that one for a long time, so they might be just taking everything out. Yeah, there's a couple of deer, 3 deer right there. Fresh eggs. Oh, wow. So as you can see, I'm going downhill away from the sun. There's 3 deer right there. I just picked this up a little bit. I don't know if you see them. 28 millimeter, you're not that good. But anyhow, there we have it. Yeah, right there in the flowers. Gorgeous. I'm going to take a picture of it. I don't want to roll down the window and bug them. Well, I might. So you see, there they are. Isn't that pretty? 3 wonderful deer. Enjoying life. I'll put this back. Yeah, I don't want to move it too much. Yeah. You know, I'm going to move it like that. Trying to make it straight as possible. There we go. Anyway, we saw some deer. But they got construction all over the place. Look at that. I see some kids. Okay, I saw a couple of deer earlier in the shade. Yep, there they are. So there's about 3 of them. 3 of them there with they're growing. I don't want to stay too long. But they're all laying down. So you saw some deer. I'm just trying out this camera, see how well it performs. Still recording. Hot card. That's what it's saying. So I might be recording to the express card. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I like the R10. I mean, it warned you if it was overheating. So that's what I'm doing here. So I placed the dual air conditioning system at 72. I figure that's cool enough in here. And then it'll warm up if it's cold outside. So those are the best temperatures. And then if I get too cold in here, I just turn on the seat warmers. And it gets pretty warm. But it was in the mid-50s as I was going home last night. Around midnight. So I think I have the video going to the faster disc. You don't really need it. If you have a good UHS-2 card and you're doing like a 4K 24, it should be no problem. So I'm going to turn in the other exit right here with the pickup truck coming out and the runner running. It should be passed by then. And I'm just trying to see if it's working. So I got a device that can read the Type B flat CF Express cards. Yeah, there's a lot of cars at home. When I was driving early this morning, got home about just after midnight, there was a lot of traffic. I'm saying, what are these people doing out? Must be Saturday night or something. Well, guess what, folks? It was Saturday night. And the only thing that got me was, now I have an automatic lights thing where it'll turn on the brights or turn it off or whatever. I had mine turned off, and I have kind of like LED lights on this car. But a lot of people, they're driving with their brights on, and they didn't, change them. So that's why I slowed down. I wasn't doing 70 miles an hour. I was doing like 65. I'm always a little bit more careful at nighttime, especially with a lot of deer that live here in San Antonio, Texas. And then, of course, on the highways, too, especially if you go I-10 route to Kerrville, up in the, what they call the foothills. Yeah. So everything looks good. Says a hot card. Going back to my house. So I think it's doing a good job. So what I'll do now is just take pictures. I got different lenses. I haven't done that in a while. And we'll take it from there. Just like that. Park. Turn off engine. So anyway, I'll get back with you in a little bit. It's only been about 8 minutes. So, I hope you liked the video. You notice that everything is small. So I usually use APS-C DX style camera, which gives me the 1.5 crop. So the deer would be bigger. You won't get that wide field of view. But just to show you, I got a full frame macro, 50 millimeter f2.8, and I also have a 40 millimeter. They're both about the same size as the 28 millimeter. Let me make sure. Yeah, they might be a little bit bigger. But the thing is, I need kind of like a small lens, and that's why I'm looking at the 26 millimeter. The only problem is, the lower that you go, the tinier the pictures are on a full frame camera. That's why I use a lot of the smaller cameras with the crop. But I'm also going to try something else out with the, instead of recording to the CFS Express card, which I like, because you can transfer files real quickly, especially when you have like a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video and stuff like that. So the camera didn't overheat, but it did say the card was hot. So I'll just go to a UHS-2 card slot and see how that performs. So anyway, I hope you like this video. I never did get a kit lens for the Z6II or the Z7II because I already had full frame lenses. And I didn't want to try the 24-70 f4, which was the kit lens. They did have one, but I didn't pick it up because I have the f2.8, but it's the f mount. So you have to put the adapter on and then his long lens. The only problem with that is I have a small dashboard now. Compared to the Volkswagen or some of the other vehicles I rented, it had a bigger dashboard. So the Ford Fusion kind of reminds me of the MKZ from Lincoln. But anyhow, I'll try out that 50mm and 40mm and see how it looks. So usually you get like a 42. So I'm going to try that 40mm, and that's an f2. And then I'll try this 50mm, which is a macro, but it's an f2.8. So I had the 28mm f2.8. It did a pretty good job. Hopefully those other lenses will bring in the subjects a lot closer. So I'll do a couple of drives, one in the morning and one in the afternoon when I go home. And we can compare the videos and see if you like the Z7II as a camera. Now I've noticed a little stuttering and stuff, so I'm going to have to tweak out the video part. I just may have had it just on automatic. You know, you just set it and forget it. But anyway, the other video I'm going to put out tonight is some of the pictures that I took with the 28mm. And that's going to be my go-to camera. I love the megapixels. So you can tell the difference between, let's say, the Z6II, which is like, I think, a 24 megapixel camera, and a 45 megapixel camera. The reason why I want the more megapixels is if I decide to put it in crop mode at 1.5, it's still about, what? If I had the lens on there right then, it would be from 45 to about maybe, what? 22, maybe a 25, 26 megapixel. So that's still good. That's even better than the crop sensor camera that you're reviewing me on that right now. But they're good cameras. They do great video. I love the glass. They're easy to use. And I usually don't have any difficulty. And the LCD screen is excellent. The LCD screens on the Sonys I hate. And so anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Give me a like, subscribe. Let me do this. Sorry about that. I thought I was centered. I am now. I'm centered on here, not on there. So anyway, put it right about there. How's that? Okay. So thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe, keep smiling, and until next time, goodbye.